where is it? People here already? Hello. Oh, wow. How could you be here before me? That's really weird. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kerry, the nosy housebrow, or welcome back, loyal viewers. See, now you know how many takes I have to do just to get an intro. Hi, Emily. Hi, pretty flutterby star. Pika-pee? Pika-pie? Oh, Pika. Pretty Lady Peacock, Emily Harris, Jennifer Milligan. Hi. The bus will pull up any second, I'm sure. There's 21 watching, so. Oh, here comes the bus, Angela. See the Sky Dreaming, chat with Lou, Ginger Nicole, Shanoa. Hi, Sebastian Snow, Papa Bless, Lazan, Van Wyck. Emily is there, sends. Hi. Jake, you just got here. It says, I love you. Let's FaceTime tonight, Ma. Of course we will. Dee's here too. Don't you dare put me up on that jumbo screen in Nick's apartment. Imagine if I'm up on the big screen at Nick's, I'll be like, hello, welcome to Nick's apartment. Betty's here. You are watching on the big screen. Let's just dim the lights a little bit. I'm looking around Nick's apartment. Wow, these lights are so cool. I could reach through the screen and get some Patron. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Shnoa. Terrence, Nancy Miller. Hello. So I wanted to talk about h3h3 and Kpop, but you guys can throw out there whatever you want. But I know a little bit about this. If you guys aren't familiar, Ethan offended an entire subculture by saying something kind of gross about K-pop fans. He was like, I don't get it. And then he's like, it's like little girls. And then he says something akin to enjoying themselves. We want to keep it a family show. And that's what it seemed like to him, to K-pop boys and stuff. And I was just like, okay, first of all, if you think they're little girls, don't say anything disgusting about them. That's gross right there. Hi. So he said, Ethan being gross, what else is new? Well, it was gross. Watching me on the big screen. It'd be funny if there was like at Nick's house, like this thing below. Hello, welcome to Nick's house. I'm here to instruct you on how to be a guest. If you'll look to my right, you'll find the bathroom with the disco ball. Dancing is permitted, but please don't tie up the bathroom. There are other guests drinking a lot of fluids. He said the fans are little girls. Yes, Edgar. He said the fans are little girls and that they are enjoying themselves to these little K-pop guys, which was kind of weird. I mean, it was just complete ignorance on his part. And then he said when they got mad at him, they said, I know I saw Jake. We were just talking about that. Don't do that. I'm just going to try and put that out of my mind. Now I've got stage fright. It's a pleasure to be here. Hey, Houston. How's everybody feeling tonight, Houston? Yay. Thank you, Terrence. So yeah, he said this about them, and Hi There Sunshine says, my issue with K-pop is that the performers are exploited, and I think about it when I see or hear them. I have that same issue, actually. They are overworked like you wouldn't believe, and highly underpaid. Like there are people who have huge amounts of fans, and they're making like 14, 15 grand a year, what we would get. Oh, thank you. Yes, money from my trip to Houston. Thank you, Nick. Somebody said, I wish I was in Houston. Stupid Florida. Yeah, Florida, ruining Terrence's good time in Houston. Yeah, so if you're not familiar, years ago it was referred to as the wave, the Korean wave, and it kind of just hit all of these different countries. I already lived in Koreatown at this point. I was not aware of the wave because I was living among Koreans. I never fell in love with K-pop music the way a lot of people do, but case by case, I do like some songs. Like Any 21 has a song that you may have heard here, kind of mainstream, which is I'm the Best, it's called. And you might have heard it, and you probably know it if you heard it, but there's a lot of them. And what happens is they go from venue to venue to venue, these large girl and boy groups who when they're not dancing on stage, they're practicing dancing, or they're on their way to another show, another stage, shoving some food in their face between trips to where they have to go sing the same songs with the same moves. And I can link some below, some of the more popular ones. And there's constantly who's your favorites. Now, in Korea itself, kids are in school all day. And when I say all day, I mean 10 o'clock at night, they're still in school very often. They don't just love K-pop. They start to identify with it. It becomes part of their identity. The way some people make hating some people part of their identity, and then they can't let go of it. Yeah, I know. I've seen that about that. So there are all kinds of K-pop fans, and there's actually some, they're older. Now, they've come to Los Angeles when I was in LA, some of these bands. At the time, Big Bang was a huge, huge band. They've disbanded, but they're still very wealthy and behind the scenes or whatever. But it's like a religion to some people. I will get into something I haven't heard people say, which is they do overwork them, yes. And if you've seen, like last year, there was a group, was it 2 years ago now? Ladies Code was a group of these girls that were getting zipped to another venue, got in a huge car crash, and a couple of them died. It was really sad. Now, some people say they're overworked as part of the suicides. There are, in general, a lot of suicides in Korea. Count D. Monet will visit. That it is what it is. But when they take their testing for high school, this is getting a little off track, but you'll see kind of why K-pop is so important to some people. But when they take their exams for college, they have to get into a certain college that determines the rest of their life. They have taken to locking the roofs when kids are taking their tests, because if they think their test isn't going well, they jump off the roof. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of time spent at school. They do collapse. Some of them, they're under a lot of pressure to lose weight. And also they don't get a chance to eat all the time. Jake says they always collapse. It's hard to watch. I feel so bad for them. Also, can't wait to see you. Like, people jump off of roofs. I can't wait to see you either. Is that a little, perhaps it's a little bit of a roller coaster. So there's that. That's part of why K-pop is huge. Now, Chat with Lou says, I don't know who or what K-pop is about. I've heard some stuff. You can actually look on K-pop favorite bands, top bands. It changes sometimes. BTS is one of the groups that became a little more mainstream in the US. Hi, Maureen. There are a lot of fans of these groups. Now, some are called Saesang Fans. Saesang Fans are next level fan. They are not to be sympathized with. They are nuts. They've done crazy stuff, like even plot to kidnap, poison, send their feminine products to these guys. They're gross and they're insane, and they own it proudly. It's really crazy. If you look up Saesang Fans, I'll link something below on that so you can see it. But like, let's say they're enamored of somebody, they'll plan on, if they think they're with a girl, they want to attack her. They want to kidnap the guy. I thought it was exaggerated for effect in some movies that I had seen until I saw some of the stuff they actually do. And it's nuts. Thank you, Kathy. I still have a cold, but it's not getting the better of me. I had some really good spicy soup and vitamin C. So these Saesang Fans are cuckoo. Like, you'll see video footage of how they find out where these guys are. And then you'll see, like, all of a sudden there's a kid who's popular and he just comes around a corner and he backs off. Something else that's kind of weird. I mean, to some people, they look at these K-pop people and they think, this is kind of strange because this isn't what people look like in Korea. There's a lot of plastic surgery. So some of it is a little different, a little strange. But you know what? I'm just so tired of people being so aggressively rejecting of things they don't like or that don't pertain to them, or that have. And that's how I took H3H3 to be liking that. Like, it's a bunch of people. And then he just said that disgusting, was kind of insinuates he's perpetuating stereotypes about it. It was really wrong. Like, I know but I just thought that was ignorant, and all of the hate that came his way, he kind of had coming. People who get something out of it, you don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, Look, I'll be the first to admit, it took me a while on the brony thing. Okay. Do you remember bronies? I haven't heard much about them, but I used to be a little afraid of them. I would be like, oh, there'd be some dark magic in them bronies. They scared me. But I watched the documentary. I mean, I just tried to understand. Some of this stuff comes from loneliness. It's not just because it's something you don't understand or can't relate to, doesn't mean we should automatically discount somebody who has a different perspective. I just don't like that. And I think I'm sensitive because I lived in Koreatown long enough to start thinking I was Korean. I'm not. My son has reminded me of that. Mom, you're not Korean. You don't know. And I was on a set one time and somebody makeup trailer goes, Korean people smell. They smell like their food. And I felt tears stinging my eyes because I was angry. I had an angry, visceral response to that. I was like, it felt personal. And also, I don't think I'd want that said about anybody. You know, to say people, they smell like their food. First of all, that's baloney. It was just bad. Oh, Bev Spire says this just reeks of H3H3 trolling for drama and attention. Probably that's true. And of all the things he says, this is what gets his attention. Yeah, well, this is what came across my path. If somebody had brought something else, if something else was the common topic of discussion, then that would probably be what I was talking about. I don't understand this notion that because I'm talking about this, somehow my H3H3 priorities are not correct. I don't listen to him that much. So this is what came across the table now. Feel free to interject anything you think needs attention. But See the Sky says, I am a K-pop fan and I could care less if people don't like K-pop. But the words Ethan used were disgusting. I couldn't care less, which is what I think you mean. I'm sorry, it's just a thing. Yes, they were disgusting. They were disgusting. Sebastian, you too. Hi there, Sunshine. Korean food is so good. So good. I made some yesterday. It's really good. But it's, you know, saying something like that, I'm sure he got a wave of hate about it. And maybe it was disproportionate. It's just his opinion. But, you know, you're poking a hornet's nest when you already know people are super fans and maybe they feel a certain way about that in the first place. Andrea said, I didn't mean for comment to sound rude. I didn't think it did. I didn't think it did. Oh, what you said earlier. Okay. It wasn't directed at you. Okay. This is the first video I've seen about the K-pop and H3 thing. So I'm just surprised it's picking up steam. Well, I'm sorry. I was a little bitchy about that. So, you know, I didn't mean it. Just my nature. Sorry. My friends and I were obsessed with Duran Duran. Bonnie Bell. I was in junior high when Duran Duran. So I feel so old. I remember girls saying they were going to starve until Duran Duran came back to town. Isn't that very typical for 13 and 14-year-olds to become super fans of something? You know, I mean, they're already at this stage of life where they don't have a lot of freedoms, you know, so this is sort of them. Everything about their life has been decided for them. Kids have so few freedoms as it is. So now it's part of their identity. And they're sharing it together too. So there's like a community. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but even though I don't get necessarily what some of the people see, I do have some people who follow me on Twitter who like K-pop, who, you know, put up those little images of them that they swoon over, you know. Someone said, if someone told me you smell like Italian food, I would say, damn right I do. I'm delicious. Oh, is the stream giving you problems, Jennifer? Maureen says H3H3 and others may not realize he spoke in stereotypical terms. That's true, but he should have thought about it a little bit. I think he was trying to be a little bit shocking. And it's an easy target, isn't it? Bronies or K-pop fans, they're kind of easy targets because they're so, you know, in love with that. And somebody says, my last concert was Guns N' Roses, so I'm out of the loop. Thanks, Regina Del Sol. Oh, you're freezing off and on? Crapola. Wonder if I have anything else on here. I'm supposed to, this makes me so mad. I pay extra for faster internet. Don't get me started on the cable in the United States and how slow it is. Papa Bliss says edgy for the sake of being edgy. Probably. So I think often he's trying to be like Howard Stern. And this is just something, I'm not hating on him. I defended him in my last video about him. I think I talked about him a couple of times. And I've heard different things about him, and mostly he doesn't enjoy a good reputation. But some people are lagging every couple of seconds. Crap. Well, I won't stay on too long. But I just really wanted to bring that up because it just seemed like a weird thing to say. Fandom akin to the Beatles. I don't know. The Beatles was pretty crazy. I have never seen K-pop fans like pulling their hair out and screaming and crying and trampling anybody, but maybe. Beck Fry. Hi, Nose. I have a cold and I'm on bed rest. Watching you is making me feel better. Oh, good. I'm chicken soup for the soul. I'm so glad. I hope you continue to feel better. Mine's just kind of just a low-grade cold, and I made my spicy soup and got vitamin C. Mostly I just feel tired. He says, I was in school when Duran Duran first came out and when they had their reunion. Boy, am I old. I remember that too. Yeah, I'm old. Thanks, Emily. Does everybody here know what K-pop is, by the way? The Korean wave? Is this maybe he's actually, doing some Streisand effect stuff? Let's see how many of us have seen New Kids on the Block back in the day. Remember Backstreet Boys? When will I start driving? I think Wednesday. Kind of wanted to go sooner, but I think Wednesday. I will be there probably Thursday or Friday morning. It's hard to say. I'm going to play it by ear, but I'll definitely be there by Friday. That's for dang sure. We're staying Friday and Saturday, maybe Sunday. Yeah, I think K-pop has a large, diverse group of fans. It really does. Hi, Rose, Beauty Boomer. Yeah, I think it's just a large group. I think H3 was having a bit of okay boomer moment. I don't take his comments seriously. Maybe they're not supposed to be taken seriously. I'm starting to think that's the case. I mean, if you're doing vlogs that frequently, I guess you have to have something to be controversial about. And I guess it's kind of his thing to, be curmudgeonly about stuff. And then his wife asks him about, that's kind of that social good cop, bad cop thing they have going on. What did I miss? I was being a blank to people that unfollowed Ashley. Where was that? On Twitter? What? You mean, yeah, people, you know what? Usually people who go, I'm unfollowing you, they're probably never followed in the first place. They probably weren't even followed. They just want to say that. Oh, no. Please do let the door hit you. In the arse on your way out. If a couple people unfollowed her because they didn't agree with her, they probably did her a favor. I know that sounds cliche, but they probably didn't follow in the first place, and it's totally worth it. You got to do you. Somebody said, I accused h3h3 of trolling for views on Philip DeFranco, and I thought people were going to be sending missiles my way. Really, Dawn? Oh my gosh. Terrence Cochran says, Kerry, we have something at work that makes me think of you. What would that be? The break room? Disability? Sexual harassment policies? I swear that guy was asking for it. Had nothing to do with me. Bill Bev DeVoe. I don't know, his comment was so far and edgy was how Onion Boy started his crap. Okay, let's talk about Onion Boy. He's coming out with a series of videos now. You can't even watch them. They're so unwatchable. He tries to be funny, like he's faking having meltdowns for views. He's trying to be like a puppet master, but it's not working because everybody knows there's a little element of truth to it, and he's just not funny. If he was funny, I would laugh at it, but mostly it's him pretending he's to retch. You're just like, oh, okay. And he starts doing stuff like that. It's like, dude, YouTube is purging you. It's just so bad. He was like in a hotel room saying he's getting divorced, and then people were saying he's getting a divorce. And what's kind of funny is, here's this weird paradox. He's pretending to try and be real about his breakdowns trying to get views with these fake breakdowns that are largely just him retching, and always end up with him with his shirt off somehow. And then on Twitter, when he's not posting his porn or whatever, the things that he's saying, he will have like clips of those in between. But then he gets mad when there's people who actually believe him. So I think that's funny. I think more people should act like they think it's 100% authentic, because that drives him even more nuts. It is cringy. So now he's like trying to pretend he's getting divorced. I think he's done that before too. Amber Lee Rose, you don't have to, feel shame about feeling bad for him. I think he's a pitiful character. So I understand. But there's a difference between having some amount of feeling pity and then also being extremely sympathetic. I don't think anybody really thinks that he's worthy of a lot of sympathy. Watch Mike, an actor, reacting to the videos. I have watched some of that. Yeah, covered in kombucha. It's so stupid. And then he was like, I'm in a box now. I'm in a box. I'm in the backyard. And then it's just so weird. Like he's going, someone says, I posted somewhere that someone needs to call a priest who specializes in possession for Onion Boy. Yeah, that would be right. I do remember Joy Sparkle BS doing videos. She did a lot of videos on him. Someone says it seems fake. More like H3 is cloud chasing because anything negative towards BTS trends. That's a good point. He might have been like, I'm just going to take a little, it could have been like pre-scripted. I'm going to take a pot shot at them. We're going to say something about them. And then you question me. And then his wife is like, why? Why do you think that? And so then he'll be like, I don't know. It's just like, these kinds of, and then he'll just say that, like, call them twinks and all this kind of stuff. And just not cool. Smudge proof. You're okay to be late. Hope you brought a doctor's note. Onion Boy is a sadist and a sociopath. I actually think that's true. As much as the word sociopath gets thrown around, I think it's 100% true about him. He is not right. And to the point where you could worry, like there's cause for concern. But his thing now is that he's trying to look like he's a comical genius, that he's like a puppeteer getting views out of, getting rise out of people. But let's look at some people that backfires on, like Rewired Soul. Do you realize that guy can't even get a hate watch? And he's like, and he ups it a notch. He starts saying more stuff about drama, more stuff about hate. But I've noticed on my Twitter timeline, there's very few people who even care. Like they don't even say anything about him. It's like, it's old. Everybody has figured out what his game is, like the used car salesman stuff. And there was an actual professional telling him off, which happens from time to time when somebody who's actually in the field of psychology gets wind of his stuff and him telling people pretty much not to take meds. Well, like when he implies he knows more than doctors, kind of rubs people the wrong way. There's a new channel that reacts to Rewired Soul. I mean, I guess if that's your bag, he certainly gives you a whole bunch of material. It's easy to come for him, but I just think that's, and I know you could say this about anybody, but with him, I definitely feel very much that he would like you to talk about him. I could feel that even more than with Onision. I think that Rewired says things that are ridiculous, and nobody even cares anymore. It's just like, somebody said he's getting dragged for the latest death in rap. Yes, because he put the tags in his video and started to talk about it. It worked out well for him that he could use it as a lesson. Like he just uses all this stuff as a lesson. Like we need to learn from Trisha Paytas and 50 videos. And apparently he put all of these tags in there about the guy and has it monetized. Somebody said he invented his religion. Is H3 even relevant? Well, people are talking about him. I don't know. Relevant is a subjective term, isn't it? I mean, everybody in their way is relevant. And whatever you talk about has its relevance in the moment. People are, I don't know. I think people definitely try to label and categorize things, put them in a box, and it just can't be done. What's relevant to one person is irrelevant to another. And, it's going to sound weird, but I think everybody is relevant, Now, is it front page news? Right now, it kind of is. But should it be? You decide. Does that not seem like a match made in heck? What is that? Ginger, what are you typing? Gas the... Oh, lovely. You're out of here. You're out of here. There's one thing I cannot stand. It's anti-Semitism. It's disgusting. You're not even a good troll. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Get out. Schnell. You're gone. And you're getting reported. Hate speech. Reported. It's just ridiculous. I did that. Papa Bless. I got rid of them. The heck of my moderators. They had to go wee-wee. How do these people know? They look to see there's no blue wrenches. I'm going to have to get more mods. Yeah, they definitely, oops. It's just so stupid to say stuff like that. And I find anti-Semitism truly disgusting. Like all kinds of discrimination is horrible. Something about the way anti-Semites hate, like aggressively hate, and they think like it's an acceptable controversy, you know. Where did it go? Who just said give me a wrench? Just saw that. Sorry everyone, I'm kind of scrolling back down. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. I'm getting a lot of trolls. It's probably my friends in Houston. That last one said smoke weed, so maybe that was just a suggestion. Maybe I was too quick to judge. Where did it go? Okay. Terrence. Okay, so if anybody else has any questions, let me know. There it is, Terrence Cochran. There you go, Terrence. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. Terrence says some people are just bad. Absolutely. Someone says, I find anti-Semitism so random. Why that one religion? And if you look over their past, they've had centuries of hate against their religion. I don't get it. And it's like, you know, it's nationality, it's a religion. It's just, it's taught. This is what it is. It's taught. I thought, I got to link this woman. You guys must have seen her. She's so amazing. But she did this exercise on showing, you know, people with blue eyes versus brown eyes. Do you know who I'm talking about? That woman who says there's one race, the human race. She really is responsible. And I know this is such a touchy subject. Let me just get you her name, because I'm getting bad with stuff like that. She was amazing. When Martin Luther King were killed, this is the one. It says Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott was a teacher, and she was teaching in the 60s. And when Martin Luther King was killed, she said, you know, he was just about to change things economically. And she took a real look around her, and she learned stuff. And I was like coming home from school in like 1984. I was so young. I was practically a fetus. And she was on Oprah. It's 85 maybe. And she took out these stockings. And she said, these are flesh-colored stockings. And I lived in East Cupcake out on Long Island. And then she just held them up and she goes, whose flesh? And just like that, I was more woke. I was like, holy, to my shame, but it's natural. I just never even thought about it. And ever since then, I look at that, you know, and she's just an amazing person. I know a lot of people say Jackie Ina has changed things for people in makeup, and that could largely be true. But there's a lot of us who've had women like Jane Elliott for years who have she's done this experiment with blue eyes and brown eyes. And without giving all of that away, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to link it below, and it's pretty amazing. But she says stuff like, you know, things people say that are wrong to sound woke, and she does it in a very palatable way that is fair. You know, she says if you were raised in this country and you went through the educational system, it's a miracle if you're not racist, because you're taught that everything good that's been done or founded or created or invented, all of these things were done by these great white men, and you're taught this, and it's kind of an indoctrination without you knowing it. Oh, somebody said the Auschwitz Memorial is trying to hit 100 subs on Twitter. We'll link that as well. That would be amazing. Yeah, there's a guy I saw one time on YouTube who talks about, have you seen those people who think it's a hoax? That's crazy. And there are also people who think the earth is flat. So it's just, you come up with it, someone will believe it. Somebody said, I remember back in the 80s, there not being but one shade, if that, for people of color. It's shameful. It is shameful. It is shameful. And somebody, Shanoa said, I loved watching that. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She's pretty amazing. Thank you, Dawn. I'm going to put Dawn as a moderator in case you want to put a link. So we talked about H3H3, Onision, and Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott's a better topic. Andrea says, yes, so true. I've studied extensively our different types of indoctrination through religion, the school system, etc. Do you remember a few years back, there was this whole thing called Teach the Controversy? There was also a group, probably the same people who came up with Common Core math. They wanted to change history books because they felt it was just too ugly to look at our history. They actually wanted to make it worse. They wanted to there was protests. I did a video on it when Oklahoma had anti-gay legislation. I did a video called Oakland No Homos. And I talked about that very thing and how people banded together and they put the kibosh on it. They're like, you are not going to teach fake history because it's convenient for you, and the truth is inconvenient. And thankfully, saner heads prevailed. Did you guys ever see the stuff that Spielberg did after Schindler's List? He has a beautiful memorial that I got to see up close. Hi, Courtney. Yes, Teach the Controversy was definitely pseudoscience. My very first video ever on YouTube, which I think I still have because there's a guy, John, who archived all of my Wise Apple videos, most of them. But he had my first video ever, which was about I think it was Richard Dawkins, and this woman from the League of Decent Women or something weird like that, who is just crazy. You know those women who go around and like try to get people to not have like they're like, we're not going to go to JCPenney's anymore because you like this person who we think is blasphemous or that person. Weird. Good night, Shanoa. The reason the aliens won't make themselves known, humans kind of suck. Smudge Troop has said that before too. Yes, I mean, it's kind of weird to me that they just didn't want to teach kids this inconvenient truth. And what's so wrong with it? Somebody said there's a kid I work with who had no idea that they had East Germany and West Germany as countries after World War II. 1 million moms. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, there's them, and then there's also that one group with that woman. What was her name? I forget. Gosh, she's not their spokesperson anymore. But she had a talk with Dawson about how there's no fossils and stuff. The fossils don't make sense. He's like, well, there's quite a lot of evidence. I wish you'd look at the evidence. It's like, and she's like, had this glazed look in her eye. Be like, we think that is just ridiculous. And she would like laugh. She'd be like, oh. Do you ever see somebody who's just like smiling, but it's the angriest smile you've ever seen? There's no joy in their eyes, but they're smiling. That's creepy. A fake smile. If she's really not smiling, she's just showing her teeth, you know. She's like, do you think we are related to apes? Come on. It's like, well, we are primates. He's like trying to give her science and stuff. We're a cousin. We're a primate. We're definitely primate. And she's just like, no. How are you, Power Man? They call him Terrence Power Man. Don says, I got asked one time to teach second graders about the 3 branches of the federal government. I did a similar example with the green eyes, blue eyes to explain what each branch is supposed to do. Wow. This has 1984 vibes. The thought police is coming. I wonder what people like that are like, the ones who smile so big and pretty in front of your face no matter what. Yeah, but it's not there. I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for coming to my little live stream. It was really a lot of fun. I will do it again very soon, but I'm going to get to bed so that I have energy for my road trip that starts in a day or two, maybe 2. And I'm really looking forward to it. I still have to get a lot done, but it's going to be a good time. Anticipation and preparing for a trip is a lot of the fun of doing it. So I will be back. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night. I appreciate it.